So the women's singles final, you had a new face in the final, Genie Bouchard, with her first PPA final appearance. What do you think of that run and playing her in the finals?
Yeah, I mean, she had some incredible wins on the way. I mean, she beat Brooke, she beat Leia, she beat Lane. And so, going to the match, I was like, and I was watching her play and she was playing very well. I don't know if it was like the wooden paddle, or I also think it's because she's been, working really hard, and, you can definitely see a ton of improvement in her game. And so I was really nervous going into the match. I didn't really know what would happen. And I played her before and it was a battle. And she obviously competes so well. I mean, she's been at the top of the world in tennis, and so I think we're honestly going to see more of her. I think she played well in the final, and I'm excited for more battles with her. But I think it's even better when the women's singles draw is getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah, I was impressed by the run too. Honestly, like Leia pre-tournament was my favorite to win this one because she's so difficult to pass, and she's one of those players that plays a little bit flatter as well. And so Jeannie taking out Leia, I think, was a super, super impressive win, especially because I think that the conditions may have favored Leia as well. But Jeannie's just playing good ball. And yeah, there's no reason that she shouldn't be a regular medal stand contender, right? It's nice to see her sort of like diving in and continuing to improve and taking things seriously. I think that's just overall good for the sport.
For sure, I agree. And I think she not only competes well, but she's super athletic. She moves really well and she covers the net. Like, I think her wingspan is like, it feels like it's like 8 feet tall. So I definitely expect to see more of her, and I'm just like impressed with her will to continue to get better and continue to. And she seems like she really wants it. Like, she has interviews and she's like, I'm really excited to be here. Like, I've never been in a final, and so it's awesome to see.
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of the athleticism, there's this one highlight point. I think somebody filmed it from pickleball.com from behind the court and like pretty close angle. And you're off the screen like three different times on both sides, chasing down overheads from Jeannie. So don't sell your athleticism short on that either.
Thank you.
You obviously won, and then you went for a dive in the pool. Take us through the celly. Was that
Oh
a
my God.
premeditated thing? Did you decide you're going to do this ahead of time?
No, I did not decide. I honestly had a red eye that night, and so I was hanging out with Dylan. I was hanging out with Ireland. I was just like, watching, hanging out with the PPA as they broke down everything, and we were next to like two giant pools, and so I was like, I think it was Ireland. She's like, "Should you jump in with your medal?" And I was like, "Why not?" And so I just like took my medal, and she's like, "Do you want a new medal?" I'm like, "No, this is the best medal ever because it's soaking wet." And I'll always have this memory. But then Ireland jumped in, like other people from the PPA and Dylan. So it honestly, it was an awesome experience. Like, probably one of my favorite post win celebrations.
Nice. I feel like the PPA tournaments need more like iconic sellies afterwards, right? You have some NASCAR ones where they'll like drink the milk or kiss the bricks or whatever there is. Like each tournament I feel like needs a little celebration like that. So you can be the
I'll
pioneer
start
of
it.
that.
I love that idea. I mean, I feel like it's just like you lift up your trophy and it's awesome, and then you give it back and you're like, oh, this is sad now. So I feel like we should keep it going, and like maybe all the winners can do something together.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Let's start it.
cool.
Playing with Dylan, you guys make the finals. You guys win game one against J-Dub and Georgia. Take us through that run.
Yeah, I've had situations where I'm up on the Johnsons and I'm feeling good, and then it never ends well. They always seem to just like flip on a switch. I think they started off a little bit slow, and Dylan and I were, started off strong and pumped, and we won the first game pretty handily. And I was like, don't get too excited. I had never played 3 out of 5, and so I was like, don't get too excited. Like, it's three out of
Oh
five.
wow,
It's a
yeah.
marathon, not a sprint. So, and then we actually had a game point in the second, and ended up losing it 12-10, which was kind of a it was 13-11, which is kind of a heartbreaker. And then they just like flipped a switch, and like Georgia did not miss a ball, and like J-Dub is just always so solid, and you think you can attack him, and then you are proven wrong right away. And so I mean, kudos to them. Like, they are just an incredible team, and obviously they're siblings, so there's a lot of chemistry on the court. But like, they compete so well, and they find a way to win every time. And so I was proud of the way that Dylan and I played. I think we had an awesome tournament. Like, I personally love playing with Dylan. I love his energy, and I think we really feed off each other. So definitely pumped about the result. But yeah, the finals could have gone better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think earlier on in the tournament, I was very impressed with your ability to get Dylan Frazier screaming. So
Yes, I know.
was that
Everyone's like, Dylan's only screaming because he's playing with Tate. I'm like, guys, like he was like, let's bring the energy. And I'm like, Dylan, I don't have a problem with that. You know, I can do that. So,
You said
but
say
yeah, he's
less.
awesome. Like we're like, shoulder bumping and like it's awesome. So I personally love playing with partners like that. I just think it, adds to the experience and also just like gets me pumped up. So I like it.
For sure. Well, I got to ask you about that too, right? Because I feel like that's been a hot topic over the last, honestly, 9 months. Like, is screaming, right? Like, and particularly from you, right? You have. I'm sure you know this. You've got plenty of haters online. You got plenty of people who support you as well. Like, is this something that you've always done? Like, have you ever considered like, hey, people think this is annoying or whatever? Like, have you ever thought about adjusting what you do?
Yeah, no, I have. I mean, I started working with a sports psychologist this year, who has like helped immensely. I think a lot of it is like some, pent up anger that I have on court that I talk about. But it's also, the hate that I get online. Like I do get a lot of hate and I get messages and I get um obviously there's people that like message me and love me and everything, but like reading those messages is like it's hard, you know what I mean? It's like, you think you're a good person, you're doing all these things, and then you read something like that and it hurts. And I feel like a lot of the time people don't really realize that we're people behind the screen and it does affect us. And so that's something that I worked on a lot, but a conversation has come up and I'm just like, what if I just stop? Like what if I just completely go mute and like, try not to scream because it's always been that way. Like, I've played tennis since I was very young, and I've always yelled, and you can ask my college coach, like, people in juniors, like, it's something that I've always done, and I'm an extremely competitive person, but I also, like, I get stressed on the court and I get anxious as everybody does, and so sometimes it's just a way of to let go of those emotions, like, to just, like, take everything, take all the anger, take the excitement, and just, like, release it. Um, and obviously sometimes it's in the direction of my opponents, and that's something that I try to work on. I don't wanna look at people when I yell, and because I generally like everybody on tour, and I'm friends with most people, and I respect everyone, and it's not like I look at them and I'm like, "I wanna, get you," or something. It's just like I'm just letting everything out, and sometimes it's in someone's direction, and so that is something that I'm personally working on, just, like, looking away and then yelling, but it's not in my nature to just be completely mute and just not, say anything. I've tried it, and I play horribly, and it's not who I am, and so I've also worked on just, like, kind of accepting that's who I am. Some people aren't gonna accept it, some people aren't gonna like it, and that's okay. That's, part of kinda being in the spotlight, but, that's kinda my take on it. It's not anything personal. I'm not trying to spite anybody on the course. Some people take it like that. When people yell in my direction, I think it's awesome. It's a hot take, but I like it. I like the combativeness. I think pickleball should be a loud sport. I don't think it should be like tennis where everybody's very polite and, so that's kinda my take.
Yeah, definitely. I think you hit it on the head that I feel like the what people dislike most on the I don't think is the screaming, right? Because like we're seeing Georgia. She's getting so much more animated now, right?
Yeah.
And I got raked over the coals because in one of my videos I asked, "Hey, look, Georgia's doing this. Why is this different than Kate?" And I think the main difference is like is at somebody versus to yourself.
Mhm.
Personally, I think you know this, at least from our interactions with shock versus fives. I don't care whether you're doing it at us, like whatever. It does not bother me whatsoever. I think it bothers some of that older generation that played tennis that thinks of it more as like whatever the gentleman's type of game. Like I think the direct, I think the at you, I think that is so actually good and entertaining for the sport. I can see where people will be like, I don't like that, but for me, it's like you get people talking about the sport. You have a personality, and I think that's more important. I'm also going to get raked over the coals for this, but Roger Federer was the most boring player for me to watch personally because he never obviously the skills were so like he was great to watch from a skill set, but he never gave any emotion. Like I preferred a Nadal, a Djokovic, a Kyrgios, anybody who's going to give us a little bit of insight into what's going on in the head. Like you can appreciate Roger for his skills, of course, but like I want some emotion, right? That was more
Yeah.
entertaining to me. So it feels like it's almost a generational divide on this, where the younger people are like, yeah, fuck yeah, Kate, like, go for it. And the older people are like, what is she doing?
Yeah. That's a good point. Honestly, a lot of the, like, the hate comments that I get are from that older generation. I'll go to the page and it's like, this 7-year-old grandpa that's been playing pickleball for 10 years and, he has grandkids and he's like, "I can't show my grandkids this." But then I have junior players coming up to me and they're like, "I scream like you now and it's awesome." And I kind of agree. It makes it more entertaining. It's like it gets people talking, some people bad, some people good, but I also like the authenticity, like, this is who I am, this is what I do, like, I think I've been compared to Leia, and I think people know by now that we're actually very close with each other, and she's just so authentically herself on the court. Everything she's feeling, everything she's thinking, like, you can see it, those facial expressions, and I think that's, like, the beautiful part about sports, like, we are in high pressure situations, and like, we're not perfect, you know what I mean? And so I would rather see someone that's authentically themselves. They get mad, they get angry, because that's we're human, you know what I mean? Like, we're human and we're trying to put food on the table, and this is how we react to it.
Yeah. Well, I hope you know I have no problem with it. Karen on Facebook does, but I'm good with it. Do you ever stare at the grocery store meat section and feel like you're just rolling the dice? Half of the time that fresh steaks, it looks tired. That's why I like Good Chop. They deliver high quality American meat and seafood right to your door, vacuum sealed and frozen at peak freshness. Steaks, chicken, seafood, pork. You build your box, they handle the rest, and it's all from local family farms and fisheries here in the United States. No more mystery meat, just the good stuff. Head to goodshop.com today and use the code DINK130 for $130 off your first box. Holy crap, that's a good discount. $130 off.